himself on the gravel at the first corner. So onto the pole position then goes Lewis Rose. Number 81 car, which is showing a few war wounds from earlier on in the year. Alongside him, Max Lewis, second row, Alistair Camp and David Buki. Moving up. Number 51 on the Civic, popular in this series, at least, EP3 shaped Civic. There's no real difference in performance, it's got to be said, between the various shapes of car. Now the biggest problem we saw really in the first race, as I sort of alluded to, was a dramatic first lap or so. That's because rear tyre temperature is not easy to find in these cars, and without it, lots of sideways moments tend to be the norm on the opening lap or so. Let's hope we don't see too many of those, because we want a nice clean start and a good race, which this reverse grid race usually is. Getting ready then for the final time this year to go racing in the Disc Lock Civic Cup with Lewis Rose and Max Lewis on the front row of the grid. Lights out, they're off, down towards the first corner, headlights ablaze for Max Lewis from the outside of row number 1. David Buki's away well from row 2, and again we've got contact on the start line with a car pointing the wrong way at the back of the grid. We'll get to that in a moment though, we'll focus on the leaders first. Lewis Rose has the lead, Buki second, and here comes Ballantyne! Oh, he gets into the back of Buki, Buki's in the gravel, and Jason Ballantyne from, where did he start? 8th on the grid, is into second place through the first corner. Not necessarily what David Buki wanted to hear, because he just got punted up the rear by Ballantyne. In fact, make that third, because he has lost one more position as a result of that contact. But that was still a mighty launch from Jason Ballantyne, the orange number 22 car then, who, remember, needs to outscore Daniel Reason by 11 points ideally in this race in order to snatch second place in the championship. And I don't think Reason's gained all that many places, so far so good for Ballantyne. There is Daniel Reason, the black number 77 car going through the shot. And he now has some work to do, especially because Ballantyne is going for second place on the inside there of Paul Taylor. Through Coppice Corner, they're almost leaning on each other. They're still going to be side by side onto the back straight. Looks as though Max Lewis is plummeting down the order, but he's down to 5th after the opening exchanges. But side by side for second place there on the outside is Paul Taylor from 5th on the grid. On the inside and going through though into second from 8th on the grid, Jason Ballantyne. That was a fantastic opening lap. There may be a discussion about what happened at the first corner between himself and David Buki, but nonetheless, he's got through and he's into second place. It's now side by side for third because Taylor was slow off the chicane. Everyone's stacking up behind. Alistair Camp goes to the inside. Round the outside has gone Lee Deegan. Is that? Yes, it is Lee Deegan, the 48 car, who might be able to sign off with yet another victory here at this rate. It's close for the lead too, as Lewis Rose has been caught now very much by Jason Ballantyne, very rapidly as well, and Jason won't want to hang around here. Looks to the inside, can't get through there. To the outside, won't go right around the outside now. Here comes Daniel Reason as well. He's starting to make progress. He's got past Paul Taylor. Off has gone Andy Hart again, I'm afraid. So Andy's second race at least, he gets a bit longer into it before something goes wrong. Oh, there's contact for the race leader. Lewis Rose goes off now, and Jason Ballantyne is not making many friends out there at all today. Off goes Lewis Rose into the gravel at McLean's. That was contact through Schwantz Curve, and well, we just caught the moment of contact, but we couldn't see what was leading up to that. I'm sure Lewis will have his version of the story, but Jason Ballantyne is in the lead. He's damaged the front of his car though. Look, the splitter is dragging, and the last thing he wanted to see behind him was Lee Deegan, the champion-elect, arriving on his rear bumper. That's exactly what he's got though, looking to the inside, looking to the outside. Deegan can't get through just yet, and then you've got Alistair Camp right behind them in third as well. Wow, what drama there. Jason Ballantyne doing whatever it takes here to try and snatch this second place in the championship. Almost bump drafting there across the line where Deegan and Alistair Camp. And Daniel Reason looks into 4th place. So as things stand, points just being updated, I reckon Reason would hang on to this, but only by about 3 points. He can't afford to lose any more places, but he has at least been able to pick his way through a little bit better on the second lap than he did on the opening one. Bruce Winfield's had a brilliant start as well. He's just going for 8th at the inside of Paul Taylor, having started 21st on the grid. The leading trio are down at the old hairpin, and this is a proper Civic Cup race. This is exactly what we're hoping for as they head out into a yellow flag zone now at Starkey's and Schwantz. That's why, of course, because Lewis Rose's car is stuck in the gravel right in the firing line. I'm almost surprised that we haven't got a safety car for that, because that is, if that's not a precarious position, I don't know what is, but there you go. So, yeah, Daniel Reason as it stands would be on 231 points. Jason Ballantyne would be on 228 points. So 3 points to the good now is Daniel Reason. and he's actually catching the lead group anyway, whilst Ballantyne is struggling. That splitter's getting looser and looser. That isn't the correct geometry for a left rear tyre on a Civic Cup car, so out of the race goes Andy Hart. Change of lead though, Lee Deegan goes through. Now that changes the point situation once again, and not in a good way for Jason Ballantyne. He will now lose some points, not to Daniel Reason. He needed to outscore him by more than this. Across the line they go. Deegan, the new leader then, second for Ballantyne. He's got Alistair Camp right behind him now in third, and looking to the inside into Redgate corner for second position. Can he go through? No, he can't. More side-by-side action as well behind. Now that's Sharp, that's Ben Sharp, who hasn't been quite as sharp maybe as the likes of Deegan and Ballantyne in carving through the order, but he is now starting to arrive on the scene. I think Deegan though is about to leave because he is out in front, he's pulling away. Just as we saw in race 1, I don't think it's going to be easy to catch. The inside there goes the 26 car. That's actually Sharp losing the place now to number 26, which was Bailey. And I'm trying to look where he started the race because it was not right in front, I don't think, was it, number 26? So he's... Yeah, where did he start? Actually, I can't see him on my grid sheet either way. He wasn't in the top 4 or 5 rows. So Morgan Bailey, yeah, there we go, 22nd on the grid, Morgan Bailey. So he's 7th now. In fact, 6th because he just passed Sharp, didn't he? Bruce Winfield's got the fastest lap, by the way. And now, so all is not lost here for Ballantyne because yes, he's lost the lead, but he's also lost that splitter, so he's no longer dragging on the floor. That will possibly be a benefit for him. There are plenty of cars though behind Daniel Reason that could potentially overtake him and take some points away from him. As it stands, I think then if Ballantyne finishes where he is in second, and that's a big if, I think he needs Reason to lose another 2, maybe 3 places then to take that second place away from him. And with people like Bruce Winfield and Ben Sharp still behind, that could yet happen. So out of Redgate they go then. Ballantyne in second place. As things stand now, it's 6 points in it in Reason's favour. Ballantyne will be kicking himself a bit about these 6 penalty points he picked up earlier on in the season. All sideways for Sharp, off into the grass. He bounces his way back on the road, and Paul Taylor will go past him. But that was a good save there from Ben Sharp. Sadly, he's starting to now go back down the time between rather than up it, which is not what he would have been hoping. But here they go then. Lee Deegan, 1.3 seconds clear at the start of the lap from everybody else trying to be in second place. Ballantyne, Camp, Reason, Lewis, Bailey, Winfield, Taylor, Sharp, Nicolao. They're all in a long line. And this is why it's still a precarious position, this, for Daniel Reason. He can't really afford to start hemorrhaging places. He's got Max Lewis right behind him. Max, who started on the front row, slipped backwards, and he's now started to become a factor in this race again, the blue and pink car. There's Bruce Winfield from the back of the grid, the Area Motorsport machine. Area Motorsport, one of the leading lights in Disc Lot Civic Cup racing. Alistair Camp, though, looking for second place here. Goes to the outside of Bruce Winfield towards Redgate corner. Not Bruce Winfield, sorry, Jason Ballantyne into Redgate corner. Fastest lap, by the way, now still belongs to Bruce Winfield, so that's where that bonus point is going. That would have been handy for our second place championship contenders, one of them to have scored, but it's Winfield that is the man on the mission here. He might have been making another move. Yeah, he is. Look around the outside in the background, and that will put Winfield ahead of Bailey now, ahead of Morgan Bailey. They shared the 11th row of the grid. Bailey sideways though, he's going to lose it, he's off the road, and does he avoid the barriers? He does, he's going back in the road though, and right back across into the gravel trap. Well, that was a terrifying moment for Morgan Bailey, and miraculously he avoided hitting anything solid, but he is beached in the gravel and will be out of the race. But that could have been an almighty shunt there. It was shades of Nigel Mansell, wasn't it, back in the 90s, and his Ford Mondeo was headed straight for that bridge for a horrifying moment, but thankfully overcorrected it in a way, but he corrected it and stayed away from the bridge and slid back across the road into the gravel. Well, that's one of the chasing pack down then, so that's one less person that Daniel Reason has to worry about, I suppose. This Ballantyne heads out of the chicane, across the start-finish line then with Alistair Camp in his wheel tracks, then Daniel Reason, then Max Lewis, and then Bruce Winfield. So just theoretically here, if Ballantyne finished in second place and Reason fell out of the 4th place he's in now, finished at the back of that queue in what would be 6th position, that would cost him an extra 4 points. So now actually he can let all of these cars, he can let both of those cars through behind him, and I think he'll still be okay for second. It would be tight, but I think he would probably hang on because he's 6 points behind, and that would only cost him, sorry, 6 points ahead, sorry, that would only cost him 4 points. So in a way, if those 2 cars behind go past him, it's not the end of the world. But he rather keep them there, just in case, but there's little chance of Ballantyne gaining any further ground, you'd imagine here. Here comes Winfield at the inside of Max Lewis, and Max closed the door. Winfield saw it coming and thankfully bailed out of the move before contact was made. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to Ben Sharp, because well, someone's off. That's the 83 car that's gone off of Craig Carter down at the old hairpin. Ripped the rear bumper loose. Side by side for second place then. Alistair Camp round the outside of Jason Ballantyne into the chicane. Did he go right round the outside? That's risky and it doesn't work. So he stays behind with 5.5 minutes there still to go. He's only even 2/3 of the way through the race. Max Lewis now pulls out to try and have a go at Daniel Reason. Whilst also watching what Bruce Winfield's doing in his mirrors. I think it's Winfield that might make the move. He looks to the inside line, he commits, he's late on the brakes, and Bruce Winfield is through. He's up a place now, another place, into 5th position. Will have some effect on his points. He could still beat Daniel Hobson, actually, couldn't he, to 4th in the points. Before that move was made, he was 7 points behind him. And that particular move gained him another couple of points, so that'll update at the end of the lap, I think. But I reckon that Winfield, if he keeps on making this sort of progress, could move into the top 4 at least in the championship. He could yet overtake all of these drivers and start taking points out of Ballantyne and Reason. Oh, he muscles his way through now. Well, there are not yellow flags out there. He might have overtaken after the yellow flags, but he's ahead of Daniel Reason now significantly. So Bruce Winfield is now 4th. What does that do to the points? He's gained 2 places already on this lap. That's worth 4 bonus points. As I said, he's not likely to be able to take 2nd place himself, but he could have a direct effect on who does. Daniel Reason then down 1 more position with Max Lewis the next behind. Alistair Camp now will be starting to get the real hurry up because he's been stuck behind Jason Ballantyne all race long, quite literally. But now he's got some real pressure because when Daniel Reason was behind him, he knew that Daniel wasn't going to take the risk of throwing away 2nd place in the championship. Bruce Winfield had really nothing to lose and he's right there with him now. 4 minutes to go. The lead, that's not the lead gap because this is the 2nd place gaggle, isn't it? And Bruce Winfield is looking to the inside, Camp going to the outside. He's taken the punt on going the long way round, but that leaves the door open for Winfield. Ballantyne shovels him off the road. Bruce Winfield could get both of them. He'll certainly get one of them, I think. He pulls himself alongside Alistair Camp. Can Camp hold tough round the outside through Hollywood, get the inside for the crater curves? That's what he tries. Bruce Winfield, oh, they almost lean on each other. That's exactly what Winfield did, wasn't it, in the previous, or what happened to Winfield in the previous race when racing with Daniel Reason. And now immediately he pulls alongside Jason Ballantyne. There's a slow car in front of them as well, and they're all about to emerge into our side to Schwartz curve together, and it's Winfield that goes through and Ballantyne's on the grass. Jason Ballantyne is on the grass. He bounces his way back on the road right in front of Daniel Reason. He's off into the gravel trap, and that was always going to go wrong. Neither was going to give way. The back mark was there too. They had to somehow find the space to get through, and there just wasn't the room. And it's Bruce Winfield, amazingly, that gets himself into 2nd place now, having started 21st on the grid. I can't wait to find out what happened there between Winfield and Ballantyne, but that now will cost Ballantyne a huge haul of points because he's out of the race now. I don't know what the drop score situation is, but Ballantyne will absolutely now drop down the points order, won't he? So let's see what that means for Winfield. Winfield is now a point ahead of Daniel Hobson, so that's definitely giving Winfield 4th in the championship. And Daniel Reason is now fairly secure in 2nd. So I don't think Ballantyne will lose any positions. I think he should still stay 3rd place. He'll just have a non-point score for this one. Not over yet, though, of course, because we've still got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, and then actually Winfield having got into 2nd place, he's not really getting away. They're 5 seconds behind Lee Deegan. I'm amazed that's not a bigger gap, actually, in all honesty, given the pace that he's had and how much they've been holding each other up behind. David Buki, incidentally, has recovered to 9th after being off in the gravel at the 1st corner. One of many drivers to make close acquaintance with Jason Ballantyne in this race. Morgan Bailey was the other one, wasn't he, from the back of the grid, and he, of course, has gone off the road, hasn't he, and brought a call coming to the pit lane, so he's no need to worry too much about him. Sam Nicolai was another that, yeah, he's made progress, 15th to 8th, so quite a few feel-good stories here. Bruce Winfield, though, driver of the race for me, absolutely. There may have been contact there with Ballantyne, but I think it was just one of those racing incidents, really, from what we could see, and that was about the only bit of contact I've seen him make all race. It's been a squeaky clean drive through the field, this, and by a solitary point, he's now moved his way into 4th place in the championship now, ahead of Daniel Hobson. He can't catch Ballantyne. I don't think, even with Ballantyne out of the race, I don't think Bruce Winfield can take third in the championship away from him. Head then down the hill into the old hairpin, and for what will be the penultimate time, I'd imagine, we should have time for one more lap after this one. The place is likely to change. Reason can now almost, if he wanted to, afford to wave Max Lewis through, because he doesn't need to finish in this position now as far as his championship positions are concerned. It won't change now. Possibly actually retire from the race altogether, and with the way the drops will work, he could still probably be second in the points, but he'll keep on fighting, I'm sure, Daniel Reason. As I said, made that contact with Bruce Winfield in race number 1, and then Bruce had the audacity to pull exactly the same move on Jason Ballantyne in this race. Fantastic stuff from Bruce. Hadn't lost any confidence in the car, had he? He knew he had the speed in the previous race to finish in second place. Wasn't able to do it after the contact in race number 2. Right the way through from 21st to 2nd. We're on to the final lap now then, and Lee Deegan 5.6 seconds clear of them at the front of the field. And he's going to win this championship at this rate by about 63 points then. It's been a pretty dominant championship campaign for Lee Deegan. He'll stick around next year or not, I don't know. I mean, if he does, he'll be tough to beat. If he doesn't know, then we could be in for an almighty championship battle in 2020. Down into the old hairpin. Wayward there for Max Lewis, who's actually still on for a good result here, Max Lewis. One of his best ones of the season, if he doesn't throw it all away like that. Max started second, didn't he? Dropped down towards the tail end of the top 10, but has picked his way back through. Now, Jason Ballantyne, I thought, was beached in the gravel, but no, he has been able to continue. So he's actually in 10th position, is Ballantyne. It's not going to make any difference for the points, but he's back into the top 10 despite what happened, and he's actually a million miles behind this group of cars, but he's not going to get there in time, of course. Lee Deegan, though, has, well, one more chicane, one more back marker to contend with, and then he will be a race winner once again. A double race victory, not for the first time he's done that this year. A dominant performance for Lee Deegan. He is your champion already, and he seals the deal in perfect fashion. But Bruce Winfield, for me, the driver of the race, from 21st on the grid to 2nd, and with laps to spare, actually, he got into that 2nd place. Alistair Camp is 3rd, 4th for Daniel Reason. That should be enough for 2nd in the championship. Max Lewis was 5th, 6th place for Ben Sharp, and 7th for Paul Taylor, 8th Alex Nicolao, 9th for David Buki after that one, turn 1 off, and rounding out the top 10, Jason Ballantyne, who has 1 or 2 stories to tell, I think, from that race. May even fancy a chat with David Buki, with whom they finished almost nose to tail with, actually, at the end of the race, but they were very much nose to tail into the first corner. It looked like contact between the two that allowed Ballantyne through and put Buki off the road. 11th place then was Damien Harris, 12th place for George Alp Williams. Ollie Barsby was 13th, 14th place was Paul McHugh, and 15th, yeah, here they come, comes Mike Ballantyne. I thought there were a few more that were due to come through. Mike Ballantyne in 15th, 16th place for Terry Taylor, and that was it for lead lap cars. 17th and 1 lap down was Sam Linsner, 18th for Rick Shortall, and 19th place for Alex Rose, and that was the last of finishers. Well, brilliant racing all round this weekend and this season, indeed, from the Civic Cup. It may have been a pretty dominant championship performance from Lee Deegan, but he hasn't really had it all his own way, and these reverse grid races guarantee that you'll get some overtaking from even the most dominant of championship contenders. They're always going to be forced to start from back in the pack, and anything can happen, as we saw, particularly given how close the racing is in this championship. So time and again, Lee has been able to just pick his way through and staying out of trouble, not getting involved in any unnecessary contact. He's just sort of been the master of picking his way through the field, and usually very, very quickly. Good starts help, and he is good off the line. He always has been. Back when he was racing in minis, that was also the case. And yeah, he was a very worthy champion this year, was Lee Deegan.
Might be a throwback to short oval racing, because if you're world champion in short ovals, you have the gold
pit lane now with Bruce Winfield, well, in 2nd. So he's actually dropped behind Ali Campbell.
Section car number 84, we will see Ryan Elliott out first, and number 11 will be Will Horton. And then the second part of this first taster session, Theo Bicoris will drive car 84.
Chat to Bryn Lucas, the Ford Fiesta, by the way, Fiesta Junior heading out of the circuit. So there'll be a taster session now for the Fiesta Junior Championship. We'll stick with the while and have a chat with our podium runners, and if we can grab Daniel Reason, that would be even better, because he's been put through the ringer today, with the championship having been decided in the favour of Deegan before we even arrived at Donington Park. Really, all eyes have been on Daniel as he tried to retain this second place. We spoke to him after the first race, he had contact with Bruce Winfield, and there was no penalty given. It was decided it was a fair move, fair battle. In that one, he was able to stay out of trouble when it was all kicking off around him, and still retain what was a very solid fourth place finish, not bad from ninth on the grid, and more importantly scored him enough points to hang on to second place in the championship in the end by a decent way. Actually 18 points was the cushion after Valentine ended up off the road and dropping down to 10th place. Bruce Winfield will be fourth in the championship with Daniel Hobson fifth, and I don't know why Hobson didn't race in that one, but he'll be ruining it because he probably could have certainly contended for fourth in the championship, maybe even better. So Daniel Hobson, he loses out on that fourth position in the championship by a solitary point to Bruce Winfield. Alistair Camp, with that result, moves up into sixth place as well, ahead of David Buki, which I'd missed. So David Buki will not be particularly pleased about the way the first corner went for him. And then Paul Taylor, Morgan Bailey and Lewis Rose round out the top 10 in the points. So there was a very competitive pair of races for the Civic Cup this weekend, and down with our podium finishers once more is Bryn.
Well, from 9th to 1st, is there any stopping this man? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Not as easy as the first one, but I really wanted that. I really wanted to finish 2019 with a bang. So
it's about time you let some other people play, though, isn't it?
Well, they're playing, they're trying, and I'm just trying 110%. I never settle for second. I want to win every race. I mean, I don't think any driver wants to come out there and come second. Everyone wants to win, but yeah, the lads and everyone in the team have put in such an effort this year. That one's for them. So
when we look at conditions, it is dry, but the temperature has really, really dropped. Does that affect you when you're out on track? Can you feel the differences?
Yeah, I think the tyres behave a little bit differently. Normally we're quicker from the word go, whereas in the middle of the race, I think, was when I put my fastest lap in. So the tyres took a long time to heat up. Again, the brakes as well. My brakes on the first few laps were a little bit hit and miss, so had to do a few ballsy moves, but they paid off. And yeah, the first few laps is what made the race, really.
It was a very impressive race to watch from the outside. I mean, at one stage you put in a lap time that was about almost 2 seconds quicker than the second place driver, and we thought, okay, just the gap opened immediately.
Yeah, the lads on the team, on the pit board were showing me my times, and they put a T out, which means that I've lost the fastest lap, so go for it. So that was probably the lap you're on about, where I just really made sure I clip every apex and smooth gear changes, and yeah, go for it. It
was really good. Well done. Congratulations. What a day as well.
Thank you. Cheers.
And let's bring in our second place driver here as well. So Bruce Winfield is here. Now, that was pretty impressive. 21st, I think I had you down as starting on the grid.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it was, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's quite far back though. After DNF in the first race, which wasn't ideal, but yeah, good race.
I mean, a good race. You have to fight your way through, though.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of weeks ago at Silverstone, a few weeks ago back at Silverstone, I ended up having a DNF in the first race there as well. So yeah, I started 19th on the grid there, come up to third. So yeah, 20th, 21st, whatever it was, up to second.
Well, I was looking at lap times, and you're pretty close as well at one stage, and then of course it's amazing that you can get that close when you start that far back and you have to fight your way through. So you must be pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that helps is obviously the guys up the front battling. With obviously like Lee and the guys who finished on the podium in the first race, they're trying to fight their way through as well. So that kind of helps a little bit. They're all battling with each other, so it enables you to catch up a little bit.
And then you get the confidence. You pick somebody off. You get the confidence to move on for the next, and before you know it, you got second place.
Yeah, well, I think with the lap times after the first race, my lap times were there. I didn't quite get fastest lap, but wasn't far off it. So that's obviously a confidence boost. So I know I was a good chunk faster than quite a lot of the guys in front, which enables you to get past them a little bit easier. But yeah, they don't make it easy for you though.
It's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well done. Good stuff. There you go. So we've spoken to the first two. We haven't got our third place here at the moment, but we've got a bit of quietness. Just listen to that. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? So we're going to enjoy the peace and quiet for about 15 minutes. We'll be back here on the live stream for the final round. We've got the Track Attack Nippon Challenge coming up in around 15 minutes' time. So if you want to watch that, make sure you tune back in 15 minutes from now. But until then, I think we're going to be looking at the Fiesta Juniors going around the track here at Donington Park as well. Drivers from the future, a lot of them... not from the future, for the future. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Drivers for the future. A lot of them going from karting into these Fiestas. We'll see how well they do out on track. So keep your eyes on this.